Now that I have your undivided attention, I wanted to tell you a story. One-man show. Ooh, it's too cold out there to do the one-man show, so I'm doing it here. In my fleece. Urgh. A lot of people have been asking me about this weight loss thing and the cycling thing, and I'm going to buy a bike, and I'm buying a bike, and I'm going to buy a bike as well. Which bike do you recommend? I haven't got a freaking clue. That's the one I've got. I bought that bike that long ago. It should be a museum piece. Certainly bought it 79, 88, mid-90s, something like that. So it's been around a while. It's been more of a clothes horse and room decoration than anything else. And because of the lockdown, I decided I would do this, and you've heard some of the stories and I won't bother going into that. But one of the things that people are asking me is, what did you do? What do you cycle? What do you eat? And I thought I'd do just a quick little ditty. I said ditty. D-I-T-T-Y. D-I-T-T-Y. D-I-D-T-Y. Yeah, T-T-Y. Something I realised was, if in March this year I decided, right, you're going to lose 4.5 stone and then work it back, how long is it going to take, blah-de-blah, I believe I would have lost heart. Because it's a long process. You don't get on the bike and a week later you're skinny, you're still a fat bastard. And you're putting all this effort in and you're pedaling like mad and your legs are burning and you look, and the drip of the sweat and sod this. Where's my bag of crisps? I think because I didn't put a target on it. I didn't say this is what I want to lose. It was a series of things that we got locked down, and it was either through boredom, eat more food and end up chubbier, or, get on this. But there was a couple of things prior to this that led me up to doing it, and that was because of the accident I had over a year ago, falling out the heavy goods vehicle, knocking myself out, hospital and all the rest of it. I had some physiotherapy, and it did no bloody good. But I asked the physiotherapist, my knees are killing me. Getting up off the couch, oh my God, the pain. Going up the stairs, oh my God. And she said, well, start doing squats. What? Squats? They hurt. Anyhow, I did them. And I started to do 5, and then I got up to 20, and then I got up to 50, but I didn't do them all at once. I would do them in batches of 20, 20, 20, and 10, and the last 10 was bloody killing me. And by squats, I've got a bit of a seat area in my bedroom, so you could use a chair as well. And you just squat down, stand up, squat down, stand up. And I found that my leg muscles were getting a little bit stronger, and the pain started to go. But they were bloody hurting, so I thought, hang on a minute, I've got this bike. If I pedal, that's got to build my leg muscles up, hasn't it? So I got on the bike and on level 1, and I know it doesn't mean anything to you, the levels. You don't understand the restrictions or the effort that you have to put in because you haven't got this bike, and therefore how can you tell? But I went on level 1, did 15 minutes on the morning, and I started to have a bit of a joke. It was 15 minutes to work in the morning and 15 minutes back home on the night, even though I didn't go anywhere, it was just here. And that was level 1. And then I got to 20 minutes, and then I got to 30 minutes twice a day. 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon. And then I put it up to level 2. And I had to start again, because there's no way that I could do 30 minutes on level 2, and just, twice a day. So it was 20 minutes, 20. And then built up and built up and built up. And I started to get a liking for this. But my legs were getting stronger, and the pain in my knees had gone. And then all of a sudden I thought, hang on a minute, I'm starting to lose weight. Initially I didn't. But then I started to lose weight. And I thought, And I couldn't go anywhere to buy all the food that I used to enjoy. The whole bar of chocolate or the whole cake. or the huge bag of crisps. I couldn't go out to get them. And I was getting food parcels delivered because of the lockdown. And the food parcels themselves weren't the greatest selection. But it was because there was no fats. I couldn't go and get me fats. It would be pasta in a tin of tomatoes. Or it would be some rice in a tin of meatballs. And because I couldn't go out and get this extra food, my brain started to program itself and started to, with eating less than I normally would and exercising more, I started to lose weight. Then I got up to the point of doing 2 hours and burning 1,200 calories. And that's when the weight loss started to kick in. I started to feel good. Now, hang on a minute. But it took me, with developing the leg muscles and being able to put the resistance up on the bike, and because the food level was less, I started to get a little bit fitter and I started to feel good. And I started to feel as if, hang on a minute, this is quite good. Do you know what I mean? So to ask me what diet did I choose, or what bike have I got, or what programs did I use, I didn't start out to do that. And I honestly 100% believe that had I started to do that, I would have lost heart. It was a series of circumstances. Get shut of that. It was a series of circumstances that enabled me to get into this situation. Now I've got to a situation where if I don't do the bike on a day, and I've had a day of rest today, I start to feel a little bit down because the endorphins are running around my bloodstream. I'm not killing little fat people, them little people that sit around your belly. I've now, I think it was, where were we? March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So August time-ish, after about 4 or 5 months, I was down to 15 stone, and then it became more of a struggle because you've got less to lose and all the rest of it. And I'm now down to 14 and a half stone. I did get down to 14 stone, and I looked in the mirror and I went, ooh, bloody hell, that's a bit stick thin. So I think 14 and a half stone, maybe 15 stone, something along those lines, is going to be where I want to be. And because we can go to the shops, I started to buy biscuits. I started to buy different foods. And I noticed that I started to put a little bit of weight on. And it didn't take much, even though I was still doing this. The food itself. So there's a balancing act that you've got to do. I think the only advice I can give you, should you want to try and lose a bit of weight or try and get a bit fitter, is look at it as fun. Look at it as, I'm just going to do it. If you eat the same foods, but you move your arse more, you're going to lose weight. You're going to feel fitter. It's a normal fact. Back in the day of the army side, I was the shittiest bloody runner in the world. I could walk all day long, but run, I was shit. And had a reputation for it as well. But we ate loads of food, but we didn't put weight on because we were always on the move. Now I'm older. I'm moving less, except now I'm moving a little bit more. And it's something which, if I'd realised this all those years ago, what do you do? So if you're going to try and lose a bit of weight in the new year, you're going to look at buying an exercise bike. You've got to choose the bike that you feel's right for you. There's different levels. There's ones where you turn a little knob and it puts a restriction on through a kind of a brake pad. There's others which use magnetic resistance. That's what this does. And I can put different levels on just by twisting a little knob. I think the updated one, you press one. I've tried to find the model of that today and I just can't. I'm talking that bike there must be 25-year-old. In fact, it could be 30-year-old. Because I'm 62, 32. 25, 30-year-old, this bike, I went up to Newcastle to buy it. And one of the things which you've got to realise is you will lose heart. It is going to hurt your legs. But don't do too much, otherwise you will lose heart. Just do 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, and build it up and build it up and build it up. And I'm in a position where living on my own that I do, I don't have anybody going, what you doing? Just have fun with it. See where it can take you. Don't try too hard. Plan over a 6-month period. And I was going to work this out before I did this to say how much you lose on a day. But if you lose, I don't know, in a month, a stone, what's that? 14 pounds. 14 pounds, so 14 pounds in a month, 7 pounds in a fortnight, 3.5 pounds in a week, half a pound. It's half a pound a day. Half a pound a day. A pound is 16 ounces, 8 ounces a day. That's not a lot. And if you change your eating habits, it's going to happen faster. If you go on a diet, you will lose heart. You've got to combine the two. Anyhow, that's my bit over and done with. I've spoken long enough. So, that's how I've managed to do it. Wasn't planned. It just evolved into something that I started to enjoy. I mean, I was riding the bike when I first started. I was wearing boots and tracksuit bottoms and a baggy polo shirt. And I even had to change the saddle on the bike because the one I was using was hurting my legs too much. I got a proper cycle seat. If you want any advice, just try it for yourself because I haven't got a clue. Ta-ra for now.